I'm learning as I go. I heard that my Che used to have 500 heads of sheep and the grass used to be tall and green. My name is Laverne Wyaco. Na jinin shlon tratnisani bashishchin. Hold soy da shiche. Twidich ingin da shanala. I'm the youngest of 8 children. My parents were Paul and Jeanette Thomas. My grandparents were Jack and Nidibat Chado. I was born in Rehoboth and grew up in Tuhachi, New Mexico, in an area called East Flats, but in Navajo we call it Bisnesiel. I was raised in a hogan with dirt floor, no running water, and no electricity. I went to boarding school in Tuhachi, then transferred to another one in St. Michael's, Arizona. I used to be shy and grew up taking care of myself. After I graduated from high school in 1972, I went to Bacone College in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I raised 2 boys and 1 girl as a single mother. In 1974, I started working for the Navajo Nation. The last 20 years, I worked for the Navajo Area Agency on Aging. I was the department manager and oversaw many programs. I did what I could for the elders. I took an early retirement because I thought about my father, who also worked for the tribe repairing windmills. He was only 83 years old when he died. My children were grown and on their own, and I wanted to travel to places I've never seen like China, Ireland, Paris, Athens, and Santorini, Greece. I moved home from St. Michael's to take care of my mom. I don't like nursing home because at the end of her life, my mom had to go into one in Gallup. They didn't take as good care of her as I would have liked. There were not enough staff, and they lost or misplaced her property. My mom died in 2014 at the age of 94. Afterwards, my husband got sick and was in several hospitals and nursing home in Phoenix, Arizona. I used to drive from New Mexico to Arizona to see him until he passed in 2017. I started traveling again at the end of 2017. In 2015, my son was diagnosed with colon cancer and underwent chemo and radiation. He has been in remission for 4 years. In October 2017, he had his first stroke, and then a month later, his second. His family was taking care of him until they couldn't anymore, so they gave him to me. I'm still waiting for a hospital bed for him. He can't walk or use his left side. He needs physical therapy on a consistent basis to get stronger, but they keep changing his therapists and they won't come out to our place because they say it's too far or the roads are too rough. They want us to go to Gallup instead. Sometimes he slips out of his wheelchair and I had to find someone to help me lift him. We use non-medical transport companies to get my son to his appointments. I live in a low valley where there's no reception, so I have to walk up the hill to get a signal and hope it's not too windy. Sometimes I'm on the phone for 40 minutes trying to reserve a ride. A lot of times the transport services can't fit his wheelchair in the car, so I specifically ask for Che Transport Services. They are friendly and helpful. They come in a big van or truck even when it's raining or muddy. It's a blessing we have those transport services. Otherwise, I have to transport him back and forth to his appointments all the time. It's hard to get him in my truck, and his wheelchair weighs about 70 pounds. We need a pool of certified caregivers to help those of us living in rural areas. I need help cleaning house and preparing meals. We have a community health representative worker that checks on us, but we need more support to make sure we are okay. As I get older, I wonder how Ty and I are going to survive. I'm a young elder and there are not many services for us. I'm the only one of my family living on the Navajo reservation. I have electricity, but I still have to haul wood to build fire to stay warm in the winter. During the pandemic, when the Navajo Nation was under curfew, the water warriors brought us water. Otherwise, I have to haul water for drinking and for my animals. It takes an hour to get groceries and other supplies in Gallup. My truck takes a lot of gas and I always have to replace tires and get it serviced. Most of my family live and work off the reservation. They call or text, but it's not the same as having someone come to visit. What would help me a daycare program for elders and disabled family members, where caregivers can drop them off for the day while they run errands. It could be a place where they could socialize with others, eat a meal, and play games. Along with the caregiving and all the things I do, I enjoy putting puzzles together and reading the Navajo Times. Recently, I started weaving like my mother did. I'm teaching myself how the patterns fit together. While I'm out with the sheep, I'm able to think about things, clear my mind, relieve stress, and figure out how to address challenges. Being out there with the wind, smelling the earth, and the sun hitting my face is a good feeling. When the sheep are grazing, they look at me like I'm their mother, and sometimes they cry "Ma," and they listen to me when I herd them back. It's very soothing. I'm sure my Che felt the same. He drew strength from his herd of sheep. It's my Che's legacy that I'm trying to keep alive.